Hi, everyone. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to go deep into U.S. immigration law, answering your questions, general education style stuff to guide you about what's going on. Hi, Marlon. Thanks for joining. We're doing a little bit of a different format today. If you're watching this live, it looks a bit different. We're setting things up to make some changes. But if you're watching live on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook and all those places, a couple of reminders. First and foremost, we do our live session, not the recorded ones or those watching live. We have a free giveaway. We're doing 3 right now, every 10 minutes, a free 15-minute consultation with myself by video to briefly discuss your case and see how, what kind of information I can provide to help you better understand your case. It's been a real success, and the people that have joined of our listeners, it's been a real lovely time talking and getting to know you. Secondly, if you are interested in a marriage green card case, definitely check out the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. You can visit www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Again, that's marriageimmigrationlaw.com, and download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. And it's a great help for you to be able to learn the strategies and ideas what goes on in a fiance or marriage case. Even if you're not doing those particular kind of cases, there's a lot of information that can help you. Having said that, let's get it started. So, all right, everybody, as the questions start trickling, we'll take the first one. Marlon asks, my wife filed the I-130 petition for me since last September 29. So, in 3 months here, 7 months ago, I've still not received my biometrics. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Well, Marlon, I'm not sure what's going on in your case, because an I-130, a petition for alien relative, the petition you submit to show that your relationship is real, does not have a biometrics appointment. If you submit it Form I-485, Form I-765, those will push a biometrics appointment. So now you may be mistaken here. You might have submitted those additional forms as well, but your question didn't list it. But the reality is everything's backed up. If you've been watching this show anytime now, you know that everything's backed up, and I have a lot of videos about this. Biometrics appointments are taking much longer, sometimes 8 to 9 months to even get a biometrics appointment. So if you didn't, and you filed in September, most of my September cases have their biometrics already, at least the adjustment cases. But in every case is different. It just depends on how busy your local office is where you do your situation there. So you might need to wait. As long as you got a filing receipt, the case is moving. That's the most important part. And just going back to how your question is framed, the I-130 doesn't have a biometrics appointment. So that's you're not going to get one if that's all you file. King Moose asks, any news from the National Visa Center for interviews? Nothing new other than what was talked about, a few weeks and months ago, is that they're super backed up, like 10 times more backed up than normal. And to add insult to injury, they said they're going to start pushing these forward. They're going to open up and relieve us a lot of these travel bans and the like, but the embassies still are not really open. A lot of them are closed because of COVID, or only doing minor amounts of interviews because of COVID. So we're stuck in a situation where cases really are not moving forward past the NVC stage if they're documentarily qualified. For the most part, I had a case in Canada where an interview happens in Montreal. They got their visa, they're coming in, but they were documentarily qualified at the National Visa Center about 8 months ago. So there's normally it would have taken 2 or 3 months. Now it's taking 8 months. Yeah, that's the situation right now. It's all you can do is wait, unfortunately. So that's about it. But King Moose, thank you for your question. All right, we got a lot more questions popping up. And it's definitely me asked, what's the difference between a K3 and a K1 visa? So it's a big difference, actually. Let's start with a K1 because that's first in order. A K1 visa is a fiance visa. This is a person who wants to, come to a U.S. citizen, has a fiance overseas, they're not married, they want to bring him over. That's a K1 visa. A K3 visa is when you're already married. You file an I-130 petition, a regular green card case, and then you file a Form I-129F later on once you get the receipt for the I-130 case, and that's a request to adjudicate the case faster, to hurry it up. There's a lot more to it. I'm going to leave it at that, but there's only a handful of K3 visa cases approved each year, so it's very rarely done. So it's not something I expect, but it's something, sometimes a strategy, because recently, if you do file the K3, it also speeds up the I-130 sometimes. These are anecdotally, we're seeing this kind of stuff. But for the most part, K1 is your fiance's, K3 is your spouse cases, and you want to try to make it faster. It usually doesn't work, but sometimes it does. Maycash now asks, no EAD, means no work permit, no social security number, but invited for marriage-based green card interview scheduled. An applicant is asked to come with 2 months pay stubs. So if you got a marriage green card case, they're not going to ask the applicant for 2 months pay stub. I'm not sure where you got that information or where that's coming from. But that's not the case where they're going to ask about pay stubs directly at a green card interview, unless they're trying to see whether you're working without, with authorization. If you're doing marriage based on a green card holder, they just wouldn't ask for pay stubs. That doesn't make any sense for the applicant. So make cash now. There's some misunderstanding in how you're interpreting this. Then again, I got to see your forms. Maybe something different. Danielle asks, I have an alien registration number, alien number. My case was denied once. Once I reapply for adjustment of status, can I use the same alien number on my form I-485, the application of the green card? Well, the thing is, you're really only supposed to have one alien number. So once you get assigned one, that stays with you, and you have an alien file. So they keep all the paperwork related to immigration at one place and just continuously keep it there. Sometimes they make a mistake of assigning two. They try to then fix that up and just choose one of those and put everything under there. And sometimes they'll give you an alien number that belongs to someone else, and then you got to fix that. That's a nightmare. But for the most part, if you already have an alien number assigned to you, that's yours. You stick with that until you become a U.S. citizen. So go forward. Although Tomi asks, if you're an American citizen, how long can you stay outside the country for? There is no limitation as a U.S. citizen to be outside the United States. You could be forever. There's people that are born in the United States. The day after they're born, their parents take them out, and they never come back to the United States. That's no problem. The bigger problem with being a U.S. citizen is that you're taxed on global income regardless of the fact of whether you live in the United States or not. So it's something some people don't know. If you're a U.S. citizen, you live in China, India, Russia, anywhere in the world for 30 years, you're supposed to still be filing U.S. tax returns every year and paying taxes sometimes if it's appropriate. Talk with an accountant about that. But that's the bigger issue, and declaring your foreign accounts to the U.S. Noor Hamad, a regular, asks, hello, my I-129 form, that's for a fiance visa, was submitted in March 22nd. Oh, 29 is, I'm sorry, not fiance visa, it's work visa. On March 22nd in premium processing. Still haven't received the receipt notice. Tired of premium processing line, but the phone connection is not working. What are my options? April, May. That doesn't make sense. I mean, you gotta. The premium processing service, did you do it on your own or did you do it with a lawyer? Premium processing has a separate email address. Recently, I've been trying not to communicate with them and stuff like that. But if you paid for premium processing in 2 weeks, have gone, actually no, the new premium processing is 30 business days or something like that. So March, April, yeah, still too long. You need to contact the local office. Premium processing has its own communication system, so you got to do that. Or if maybe contact the local congressperson saying they're failing in life. But there's different ways of reaching it. I got to see your case, see which service center it is, but that doesn't make sense. Hopefully you fix it up. Make Cash now follows up. Sponsor was laid off end of last year, but resuming new job. Next green card interview is scheduled in 2 weeks. USCIS requested sponsors pass 2 months pay stubs. They don't normally request that, so I got to see who's told you that, or if they made some sort of unique request from you in that kind of case. Hey, you need to get another sponsor if you don't have one, or your U.S. spouse is not making money. But the way you asked the question, it said the applicant has to bring 2 months pay stubs, not the applicant, it's the sponsor. You got to figure it out or go and see what they say. You probably should have just consulted an immigration attorney because there might be ways around this, but this is something we got to talk about private. It's too case specific. I wish you the best. As a reminder, we do have I forgot how to remind you how to do it for the free consultation. You got to, wherever you're watching, like and subscribe, and also type in consultation, free consultation if you're watching live show, and my associate. We'll pick one person, they'll tell me the name, and we'll announce it and tell you what to do next. So stay tuned, keep watching, and post that. 29 Superb asks, good night, Attorney Khosravi. Have you filed any national interest exemptions for pending EB3 visas? If so, what is the condition you utilize in filing the exemption? So I haven't, but what the conditions are. You mean what basis is? It depends on the case, depends on the facts of the case. Actually, I did submit one for a marriage case so they could hurry it up, and I said, yeah, they have minor children. I need to come to school here, and we're still waiting on the response. That's that. Art Whalen asking, my I-130 petition on the USCIS status site says received and a receipt was mailed. 3 days later, changed the case is being actively reviewed by USCIS. Does that mean anything significant? No, it means nothing. I wouldn't worry too much about what the website says there. It doesn't mean much, and they usually don't update it well. But it just means they got the case and they're working on it, and that's about it. So don't stress out about anything like that. We have a TikToker, Tanji asks, is it possible to transfer H-1B to a different state from same office where there's no physical office? to work remotely, meaning currently office in Pennsylvania, try to transfer H-1B to Georgia to work remotely from home. It may be possible in the conditions, but that's a really unique thing that we got to analyze. And I don't handle H-1B cases myself. My colleagues do. Either schedule a consultation in my office or your employer has an attorney handling H-1B. So just talk with them. They're a resource that's there. Ambrose asks, hello, John. Am I required to live in the same city and state as my U.S. citizen petitioner's sister? I don't want to reside in the American mainland, but rather in one of his territories in the Caribbean. No, there's no requirement that you be living anywhere near your sister. I mean, your sister needs to be living in the United States when the time comes for the green card, 10, 20 years after filing. Hey, you don't have to be living with your sister, not at all. As a reminder, for those doing a marriage green card case, I have an Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. It's the best ebook out there, and it's free for you to download to learn more about the marriage immigration case. Just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com. May Cash now follows up. Is it a good sign to be invited for a marriage green card interview? No EAD or social security was issued to applicant after thumbprint. It's not a sign of anything. It's just there's two different departments. One handles EADs and stuff. One handles the green card interviews. The green card interview line came up faster. Doesn't mean anything at all. Noor Ahmed says, thank you. Thank you, Noor. I appreciate your question. And Marlon says, thank you as well. God bless you. Thank you for the question. And anyone who's participating, Maycash now follows up. USCIS requested you provide evidence you're cleared by court in case of felony. Another issue is driving violation inclusive? Well, it depends on what the driving violation is and how bad it is considered the state that you're in. So I got to review the case in detail. Maycash now is getting too much into unique, case-specific kind of stuff. So that's something you got to schedule a consultation in my office to talk about. A reminder, we're getting a lot of questions about timelines and when that's going to happen. There's no real way to answer these kind of questions. They vary so drastically. We had this case right now, Maycash, I was talking about, where the green card interview came, but they still haven't got the work permit. So sometimes people get the work permit and then the green card. It's all over the place, so I can't answer questions about timelines. Danielle asks, my husband is a petitioner and the immigrant. We have 3 kids together. They're all American citizens. Should I file I-864 or I-864? Well, for me to answer that, I need other kinds of information about how your husband's income is and background and stuff like that. So I can't answer that, but the general thing is the I-864 Easy form is used less. So the officers adjudicating these things see these applications less or less familiar with the I-864 Easy. So I-864, the regular version, is what most people do. So I would just submit that because they're used to seeing that. However, if you're doing it on your own, the I-864 is what I found people have the most issues and complications with filing. But it's up to you. But for me to be able to tell you which form to use, I got to review your case. Oluwari asks, can you file after 20 years for citizenship? The length of time you had a green card, other than the minimums of having it 3 or 5 years, I let you pass that point. It doesn't matter. It goes to other factors to see if you have problems with getting, arrest history, false claim to citizenship, paying taxes, being alcoholic, that kind of stuff we got to look at. Really quick, before we get to Gibo's question, I want to remind everyone about the raffle. Our winner is Mohammad Reza Siragati. Thank you so much for watching and joining, Mohammad Reza. Please email my office a screenshot of where you're watching me so I can see that it's really your account in your name, so I know other people aren't sending this, Mohammad Reza. And email it to me at info@jqqlaw.com, and I'll send you an email back with a link to schedule the free 15-minute consultation by video. Giwa asks, who are essential workers according to the DREAM Act of President Biden? So we're talking about a lot of different things here. First of all, there's no DREAM Act. And because there's no DREAM Act, there's no definitions that we can go by. So that's that. Maycash out says, can applicant go for medical report checkup outside the state of receipt notice was mailed? Yeah, when you're doing your medical checkup, you go to any doctor that's registered as a civil surgeon. You can find the civil surgeons page on uscis.gov. It has the addresses based on your zip codes. You can find it. It doesn't matter which doctor you go to as long as it's one of those doctors on that list. So that's about it. Mohammad said, thank you so much. You're welcome. God bless you. Thanks for joining. TikTok, Cuervo Senid asks, is it easy to apply for the K-1 9-day fiance? And what's the charge for the application? Well, it's easy for me. Whether it's easy for you, I don't know. I've had people who misfiled it and ended up wasting a year of their time and delaying it. So I can't really tell you if something's easy or not. I can say it's easy for me, but that's something I do for a job. And when it comes to how much it costs, there's different filing fees. So the first step is $535. The second step is $265 plus a medical checkup and passport photos. There's also passports at the beginning too. And then once you're in the United States, $1,225 for adjustment of status fees. and more passport photos. And yeah, and maybe there's police records you have to get the embassy. Those are all the government fees. But if you want to talk about attorney fees, you have to schedule a consultation. But download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. It'll give you a better idea what's going on. Just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com. And also for those watching, if you want to try a raffle at your lottery chance at the free consultation I'm giving out in like 6 minutes or so, just like, subscribe to the channel you're watching on, and leave a comment saying, free consultation, and my associate will choose one person for that. Farah asks, is premium processing apply for N400 and I-131? No, they don't. Premium processing does not apply for the naturalization and travel permission document. Monica asks on Facebook, my 10-year green card is expiring in October 2021. When will I apply for renewal? I'm planning to travel back home in July, so do I apply before that? You have 6 months before the expiration of the card to apply, and you'll eventually need to do a fingerprinting appointment. So, you just time it out, whatever works for you. I need to know more about you. I can't tell you what to do, but that's the general information right there. But you also should really look into filing for U.S. citizenship. Why just keep having a green card? Why not look into filing for citizenship so you could do that? John, you did a detailed video on international. How much to spend to apply for? Okay, let's see. Blacksmith asks, what is process to withdraw an I-485 after receipts received? If you want to withdraw a case, you write a letter to USCIS. You indicate the cases that you're referring to, and you sign it and say, I'm withdrawing. We have a quick question on TikTok. It says, John, I am screen says, you did a detailed video on entrepreneur international law. How much you spent to apply for it? I can't talk about spending. It really depends on the case. So schedule a consultation in my office, and an attorney will talk with you about that. Raquel on YouTube asks, is watching you from Tanoa City, Batanga, Philippines amazing? Good morning. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you so much. You have a lot of people. My team's in the Philippines, so God bless you. Thank you for watching. 29 Super C, a regular asks, what criteria can be used to file a lawsuit to the State Department, U.S. Embassy for EB3 visas if all documents successfully submitted to NBC despite the rescinded blah, blah? Well, it's what's called, there's a special kind of case, the APA lawsuit, Administrative Procedures Act. I mean, what criteria is, you got to talk with a lawyer that does a lawsuit. So for me to be able to, I'm not going to say you have a legal discussion on a customer kind of stuff here. It's too complicated. But you just talk with a lawyer that does lawsuits and look into it. And that's that. Gio asks, please, can you give me USCIS email address? USCIS doesn't have an email address unless you're doing pre and processing and it's on your receipt. Coyle asks, I applied for adjustment of status. I never got receipts. Well, it's taking time. There's delays, so wait a little bit longer and you'll get it. If it goes more than 2 months, then you call USCIS and see if they cash a check or see what's going on and take it from there. Oluwarotu says, would I be able to file for my mother in Nigeria now? And do you know if the embassy in Nigeria is open or not? I don't know what the embassy is doing. I don't keep track of every embassy in the world. But you could file for your mom. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can start the process. It has nothing to do with the embassy starting the process. It's working with USCIS, and that's there. Now, we're getting more and more questions about these timelines. As a reminder, I can't answer questions about when the embassies are going to open, when this case is going to happen, when the interview is going to happen, when the workroom is going to happen. These are not things that I have any power over. So that's that. And if you are interested in doing a marriage or fiance case, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide free. It's an ebook. I have PDF, 40 pages plus, really breaks it down. Download it, look at it. You'll be surprised how much information free I'm giving out to help you learn about the processes and then schedule time to talk with a lawyer after that. Ellie asks, I'm a DV lottery winner. It's diversity visa green card lottery winner. Congratulations. Inside the United States, can I apply for adjustment of status since my case is asylum pending? That's a tricky question. I've been getting a lot of phone calls in the last few days about this. One is if you just won the green card lottery, you can't file for adjustment of status until your case is current, which is not going to happen until the end of the year after. You have to maintain valid status until you file for adjustment of status. And if you only have an asylum pending claim, that's not status. However, there are arguments in some courts, and not every office will accept it. If you file for asylum when you had status, and due to an affirmative asylum case with the asylum office, not with the court, and due to delays in the government, you're not getting an interview, you're not getting approved, they could technically consider that status and get you in. It's a complex situation we got to talk about, but that's that. 29 Super CS, thank you so much for answering my questions. Attorney Castro, I appreciate it. You're welcome. God bless and thank you. Charlie asks, my asylum case is pending since 2016. What should I do? I don't know. You could file a lawsuit and say, hey, why does not make a decision? Oh, well, asks, my friend got married after her son's 18th birthday. Can her citizen husband file for him? No, that's too late. Friends got married after her son turned 18. So your friend, the mom who got married, is going to get a green card. Once she has her green card, she could turn around and file for the son. Hopefully does it before he's 21. So it's getting the fast track. But for the stepfather to do it, they have to have married before the age of 18. Levo asks, is there a premium processing expedite for I-485 for expedition? No, there's no premium processing for petition for spouse. Now, going back to that previous question really quick, I'm trying to think, if you're born after, if your parents got married, your step-parent married your parent after the age of 18, the step-parent can no longer do an immediate relative petition. I can't remember exactly if they could do an F1 petition preference category. Probably not, but I just want to give that disclaimer out there. So I have to look into the instruction on Form I-130 to remember. Will ask, my friend got married. Oh, yeah, that's the question. So I got to look into that. Sorry, but I'm pretty sure I was right, but I just got to double check. Amir asks, does premium processing apply to I-130? No, it doesn't. If you want to know what premium processing applies to, we're getting a lot of questions on this. Just look up Form I-917, I-907, and all the I-907, put it in Google, and it goes request for premium processing. And all the information for what it is right there. So let's check it out, read it for yourself. You'll have it. Daniela says, thank you so much. God bless. I'm going to announce our raffle winner, Monica GJ 1976. Monica, thank you so much for watching. You are our winner. Take a screenshot to prove that you're watching from your account, and then send me an email to info@jqqlaw.com, info@jqqlaw.com, and we'll schedule a 15-minute consultation to talk about your case. Farah asks, I'm waiting for my N400. That's a citizenship interview, almost 9 months. Do you think it will take more than that? It's not up to me. It's up to the USCIS. Will says, thank you. You're welcome, Will. Thank you for coming and asking questions. I appreciate it. When it comes to these timelines, you're asking the wrong person. I have no power over this stuff. Some cases will take 3 months. Some cases take a year and a half. It's what it is. This is Gucci asks, I filed my N400. I have not filed the tax the year I arrived in the U.S. Will this affect my case? Well, the reality is there's a question on the form that says, did you ever not file U.S. taxes? If you didn't, that's, that you have to say no to that and explain what it is, or go file the back taxes, or else, you look bad. So that's the short answer. But this is why you contact an attorney in private before you file, and you discuss this out to plan it out. Just it's too late now, but it's better. Just always have a lawyer if you could afford it to talk with. And, there's crappy lawyers, good lawyers. Hopefully you find someone who could really get down in business and talk with you well. But that's that. All right, as a reminder, we are one more raffle left for a free 15-minute consultation by video. Just like, subscribe wherever you're watching, and then leave a comment saying free consultation or something like that. And my associate will choose one person. They'll give me the name. We'll mention it in about 9 minutes. Mohammed asks, can I apply for citizenship right after my wife completes 3-year citizenship? 3-year citizen. It doesn't make sense. No. To apply for citizenship based on 3 years, you have to have been married and living with the U.S. citizen that whole time. So if you're a green card holder and you've been married to and living with a U.S. citizen that whole time, when it comes to a 3-year time, you can file early instead of doing 5 years. The way you word the question doesn't make sense to me. So just schedule a private consultation. We'll talk about it more. Nandi Chang sends a like. Thank you so much. Nanda Chamalaka. Thank you so much. We got people from all over the world watching. God bless you. I had a consultation with the viewer from Peru this morning, and that was a very nice lady, and really happy to help them on the case. From all over the world, it's great. We have a watcher, Aziza from New York. Thank you, Aziza, for joining us. I appreciate it. It's amazing how we're able to connect with people everywhere in the world and just to discuss immigration and help out. It's an amazing thing that we have going on. I appreciate everybody for joining. All right, so we'll have some questions popping up again, but I do want to do a reminder of the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. Even if you're not doing a marriage case, most of the information overlaps with other kinds of cases, so feel free to download that at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Arias, I have a friend coming back to the U.S. with a tourist visa. She was here in July 2019, left December 2019, and came back in February 2020, and extended her stay as a B2 visa, got approved. She left her home country. I'm guessing, Eric, you're worried. Is she come back this June? Is it going to be a problem or not? It's up to the officer at the airport. If they feel like this person, your friend, is spending too much time in the United States, there's our question is, well, why is this person here all the time? Are they working here? Are they really living here? Are they going to go back to home country or not? So it's going to be up to the officer at the airport who deals with your friend to see if they'll let her in or not. It's sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Unfortunately, it's out of my control. Will she face secondary or follow-up question? It's not up to me. First, in the entry to the airport, you go to primary inspection. If that officer thinks it's appropriate, they'll send the person to secondary. It's all to that one officer, CBP, Customs and Border Protection Officer, that day when they're coming to the airport that's dealing with them, what's going to happen, not me. So it's up to their discretion as to what they want to do and will do. But thanks for your question, Eric. Hopefully that situation will go fine. All right, so we got a couple people on TikTok, getting less and less people on TikTok, much more on YouTube and LinkedIn. It's a wonderful thing. As a reminder, our raffle is coming up, the last one in 5 minutes or so at the end of the show. If you want to get a free consultation, just type in free consultation in wherever you're watching, and like and subscribe. I'll take it from there. And as a reminder, also I don't have answers for timelines about stuff to help you with that. But I did a whole video if you're doing a marriage green card case, especially about how timelines work under normal conditions in general, which you expect, but not for certain. Just go to my YouTube page, JQK Law Firm YouTube page, and marriage immigration timelines. Type in that search. You'll find a lot of information there that can help you out. There's a lot of good news and bad news happening in immigration. You're welcome, Eric. The reality is, like, they keep talking about reform and changes. Nothing is really happening. We're still stuck in delays are happening. But then some cases go really fast. So I'm starting to get cases done really fast, and some are lagging, and there's no consistency in it. It's not no reason, rhyme or reason or explanation as to why this kind of stuff happens. So, it is what it is. We have a question here on TikTok about how long the I-824 takes. It takes a long time. You want to avoid doing the I-824 if you don't have to, because or get around it somehow, because it takes a long time and costs a lot of money. Another question on TikTok, Islam asks, is soon I'm going to do an interview with my husband for the marriage green card. What to do? Well, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. It has the information in there that could, it's a starting point to help you out, as well as practice questions. So just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide, take a look and read it, especially the last parts, the interview and the sample questions, all that kind of stuff. They'll be blown away at how much information is there that can help you out. But thank you for your question, Islam Peace 1111. All right, so we're about to wrap it up pretty soon. We got 1 or 2 minutes. If you have some last questions for everyone watching, well, thank you for joining and watching. We're going to get into it again next week, next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, as we always do, to talk about general immigration stuff and just fill you in on what's going on. I'm debating whether some of this talk about other subjects about life in America, life as an immigrant, all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're just taking all your questions that are popping up. So that's that. We have a question. Love seeing us. Hi, I understand USCI is slow right now, but I filed my case 8, and then we don't have the rest of the question. 8 what? So, whatever number you say, even my case 8 months ago, 8 years ago, first of all, it depends on what the case is and it depends on your background. You go to uscis.gov. If it's outside the regular processing times, or even a little bit, later, even within, you can always file a lawsuit. You can file complaints with USCIS. You can contact your congressperson. But for the most part, there's not much you can do with these case delays. What I found is just, it is what it is, and you have to deal with it. But hey, thank you for your question, love. I hopefully it gets done. I know how frustrating it is, just waiting and waiting. Trust me, I have clients every day just so annoyed and just frustrated about it. I have couples. I had a consultation with a person today who was American, a husband in Mexico, and their I-130 case is taking like a year and 2 months so far. For I-130 for a spouse of a U.S. citizen taking like more than 8 months is kind of weird. That just doesn't happen. So they're calling me to see what's going on. I say just wait another month or two, probably get fixed. But the bigger problem is the embassy in Mexico has slowed down so drastically, and the line to get an interview is so long that it could take like 2 years just to get an interview. And then at the interview, who knows what's going to happen? So, expect long delays. It's really traumatic for relationships. If you have children, it's really hard, especially with COVID right now. It's not as easy to fly back and forth to visit each other. It's expensive. It's just a nightmare, complete nightmare. I completely understand. It's sad. But, it is what we're dealing with. If you have a lot of money, you can sue sometimes, get things going, but that's how the rich get what they want. Amir says, can you travel after applying for citizenship? Yeah, you can generally travel. Citizenship, it doesn't have a requirement to stay in the U.S., but you still want to be cognizant of the abandonment kind of stuff. So you don't want to spend 5, 6, 7 months outside the United States, or you don't want to give up your life in the United States because that could be used against you, saying you're not continuously living in the United States. Maynor asks, I just sent the request for initial evidence for my green card case. I sent the immigration evaluation. Maynor is like so case specific. I'm not sure if I can help you on that. We have another question from Christy. My attorney filed the I-130. Until now, I don't have a receipt. How long does it take to get my receipt? Right now, you can expect 1 or 2 months delay in getting a receipt unless you file online. Most attorneys only file by paper, so it'll take a while. Mariana says, thank you so much for your help. I'm watching from Peru. Mariana, thank you so much. It was really good talking with you. 29 Super C said, it's really tough with the immigrant and non-immigrant visa backlogs at U.S. Embassy. Yeah, it's a disaster. I mean, it's really bad for business. The U.S. families are torn apart. It's just traumatic situations going on. And to add insult to injury with the pandemic and all the stuff we went through during Trump's presidency. All right, so we got our raffle winner, Mary Newer. Thank you so much for coming on, asking questions. You are our raffle winner for a free 15-minute video consultation. Just take a screenshot for your desktop or phone, wherever you're watching, and send it to info@jqqlaw.com, info@jqqlaw.com. It's my email, so I can see it. That's you. We have another question, Rosa from Paraguay. Thank you so much for coming. We'll be back. Christy from Ohio, thank you as well. You're always watching. Thank you. It was a pleasure having it and being part of all your lives. And I wish I could see you all in person. Maybe in the future we'll do a video thing where you can come and ask your question live. We'll see how that goes. But until next Wednesday, thank you all. God bless. Be safe. We'll see you 5 p.m. Pacific time next Wednesday. I look forward to talking with all 3 raffle winners during a consultation. Everyone, be safe. Bye-bye.